All right, so this is an issue. More and more banks are going to close down, plus to the banks that's already closing in or have closed down. So the issue is some of the banks that is left open, they are losing like their tellers. It's like self-serve banks. And even cash is not being dispensed. You can make deposits and all, yes, but you cannot withdraw any cash at some of these self-serve banks as well. How many of you believe that we're going to be hitting a collapse very, very soon? So here, Wells Fargo was closing 17 more branches, including one in New Jersey. For those of you who do not know, I'm always reporting out of New Jersey. So I'm going to go ahead and check in right now. This is Shauna. I'm checking in over here at Moments with Us. I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys a second to check in as well. Let us know what's going on in your neighborhood. Let us know where you're watching from. You guys can go ahead and check in right in the comments down below. Hopefully you all are doing well. So Wells Fargo, they're closing 17 more banks in 12 states, including one here in New Jersey. So let's go ahead and see which 17 banks are closed. They want me to be a subscriber to read this article. We're going to get the free one. Right, so the states where the branches are expected to shutter are in Arizona. So look out: Georgia, Washington, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Utah, Nevada, Connecticut, Virginia, Texas, and New Jersey. And honestly, guys, because everybody, feel differently when it comes down to pulling your money up out the bank. Like I said this before, some people only keep enough money in the bank to pay their bills. Me personally, what I feel like, me pulling all of my money out the bank, of course, to possibly just buy necessities and things that I need now that I won't be able to get in the future without cash. But if everything was to switch over to digital, regardless what happens to the money, do they then transfer the money that we have in our bank to some type of digital currency? And would our same dollar equal a dollar in our digital currency? I don't know. If that makes sense, let me know how you guys think about that, how you feel about that. Like the new system could be something different. Like if you have $1,000 in your savings and then one morning you wake up and then, you can no longer have access to that once we all go digital. We no longer have access to that. But for a fact you had $1,000 in your savings, but just once the switch happens, it'll be a lesser amount of money. I wonder if something like that can technically happen. I mean, anything is possible, right? I don't know. That's just me thinking though. So it says, according to what agency guidelines, banks are required to give at least a 90-day notice before closing down a branch. Because the banks announced these branch closures at the end of April, the soonest they could close is late July. Wells Fargo has announced about 100 branch closures nationwide since January, February, March, April, May. Okay. And then there's a whole list here, which we're going to go ahead and check out. So it says Wells Fargo is not the only bank planning to close branches nationwide and in New Jersey. So PNC, of course, they recently announced that they will be closing some branches over in Stop and Shop located in New Jersey, of course. So let's go ahead and check out that list real quick. And let's see. Okay, so if you guys look at this list, there's a bunch of stuff going on here. So let's just look at the latest list. So 429. Let's go ahead and pull this up really quickly, guys. And with this list here, it gives you the full state, address, and everything you need to know about these bank closures and when they're supposed to close and everything else you need to know. You guys, if you want to have access to this list, I'm going to go ahead and put it in a Link comment down below so you guys can view it, and you guys are actually able to tell if your bank right down a block or in your area is about to close. Because a lot of people actually, they don't go and look at these lists. They just know, oh well, you know, bank closing, bank closing. Hoboken, New Jersey, that's right next to me. Um, you know, a bank is closing, or a lot of people don't know until they actually try to go to that bank, and then boom, the bank is closed. So I'm gonna leave this here because we're not gonna read them all, of course. I'm gonna leave this here in a pinned comment down below, the link, so you guys can definitely have access. I'm scrolling through it now. Maybe you guys see some, you know, your state or maybe your local bank, being that we are viewing from all over the world. Another one in Hoboken, New Jersey. Towako, New Jersey. That might be like South Jersey. New York, New York. We see New York up here. Kentucky, Texas, you guys. North Carolina, South Carolina is up here. Connecticut, PA is up here. Virginia, Oklahoma, Florida. I see a bunch of different states up here, you guys. So definitely check this list out. There's another one here. It actually says branch closing. So they did file to actually close their close some banks. This is in Cincinnati, Ohio. So there was a notice that did go out, and it says branch closing, advanced branch closing notice there. So, you know, this stuff should be on the door. So this bank actually was closed on 4/25/2023. The notice went out 1/20/2023 to let, you know, people know, like, hey, this bank would be closing in a few months. So there would be more of these that's going out. I believe that majority of banks would shutter. Majority, that's my belief. Majority of banks would shutter. And they would start, well, they have started actually shuttering the banks in locations where, let's say, it's hard for people to get to. Let's say you got like that one bank that's in the country, for instance. And in order for you to get to the next bank, you got to go to the city. So let's say they start taking out those first. And then it's going to be harder for people to actually travel to these further locations. So they started actually, I think I mentioned this in my last video. I can't remember. They actually started wiping out the not wiping out, but shutting down the ATMs in my area. And like I said, I didn't even know until I went and I tried to go use the ATM, and I'm like, oh yeah, so that's not there no more because it's been here forever. So yeah, so they're actually already taking out the outside ATMs and stuff like that. And then over in what do you call it? In Orange, New Jersey, inside one of these little chicken shack places, they actually have one of their Bitcoin ATMs inside of that chicken shack over there. So, you know, you kind of put two and two together, and we can see exactly where this is going. But would you get your money out of the bank? Slowly but surely. If you want to take X amount of money out and it's a large lump sum of money, please expect a letter from the IRS. Please expect your teller to be questioning you as well. You know, even though it's your money, once your money goes into the bank, your money is no longer really your own money. You're sharing that money because that money is being lended. It's being lended to people. You know, they're using your money as a loan once you put your money into the bank. So technically your money is not even your money anymore. I think that's all we're going to touch on today. Yes, these banks are closing. And then there was this comment that came through right after I read this article. I'm like, look at this universe speaking to me this morning. We're going to go ahead and pull up this comment. All right, so I am actually remind me of a song I'm going to tell you guys after I read this comment. So it says, it was reported on the news that banks may fully collapse in the first week of next month, triggering food shortages and extremely high inflation prices. Mainstream news isn't reporting on this because they don't want people to panic and run into their banks and shop. Because if they run to their bank, guess what? and take all their money out, guess what? Think the banks won't collapse, then the banks will fully collapse. Now, if people run and take everybody run and take all their money out the bank, what's going to happen? What are the banks going to have if everybody run and take all their money out the banks? It'd be a big problem. More and more people are actually taking their money out of the banks, believe it or not. Believe it or not. But it says, but the wealthy are already moving their assets around to avoid financial losses. Stock up while you can, which is true. Who knows what's going to happen? But anyway, when I saw this name here, kind of clicked in, with this song. I don't know if you guys heard of it. I Am Whatever It Is That You Say I Am by Eminem, you guys. And if you guys haven't heard it, give it a listen, because honestly, it's just this one line that just keep playing in my head. It's like, I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, why would I say I am? In the papers, the news, every day I am whatever you say I am. And it's kind of like, we always go back to the have nothing and be happy, own nothing and be happy. Because they want us to be whatever it is that they say we are. Then a song talks about, in the second part of the song, how certain things are not reported on the mainstream media. Certain things that's going on, they want to tell you the lies and, a whole bunch of stuff. But if you do have sensitive ears and you have not heard this song, I don't suggest that you listen to it. But, if you could take it, just go on and give it a listen. Though it's more so of a personal feeling, I believe, that he had with this song, it's actually very relatable to a lot of situations going on now, and with a lot of situations that a lot of people actually go through. So yes, we're going to officially check out over here at Moments with Us. Hopefully you guys had enough time to actually check in. It's the morning over here, so I got to go and do mama things. You all have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll check back in with y'all later if I have time. And if I don't, you all just continue to be blessed. So I'm officially checking up out of here. Make sure you all stay prepped, stay blessed, stay safe, and most of all, remain beautiful queens and kings. Until next video, I'm out of here. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed by now, what you waiting for? I'm officially out. Thank you all for tuning in. Peace.